He strikes me as a player who, like, if he did this, he has a very strict reason for doing it, and I think it's because Muzzy's been playing so much Druid lately.
Yeah, and we'll get to hear it right from Muzzy. Muzzy, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
All right, first of all, congratulations on your win tonight. Doesn't lock you for the playoffs, but it's going to look pretty hard not to make it from here on out, so great comeback this season. We'll visit that in just a second. How do you feel about playing against Mech Shaman 5 games in a row?
Mech Shaman is always scary to play against. Like, a couple of those games, he had really good draws, like the double Mech Warper and then the 7s on that 4-mana overload drop. I forget its name.
Fireguard Destroyer?
Yeah, that one. He had good RNG on that one some games, but other games, like another game, he kept on getting 4 attack on those. So I think I was fortunate. It was average RNG across the board. I feel like all the decks I played, like the first deck I played was the Warrior deck, and it had Owl and Unstable Ghoul, and it had a bunch of other anti-aggro decks. Like, I even had a Healbot in it. I expected him to play Hunter and other aggro decks. That's why I brought that, but he ended up taking that first game away from me. So the second game, I felt like he was going to bring Mech Shaman again, and I feel one of the best decks against Mech Shaman is that Zoo class, because you can get on board early and counter, like with Abusive Sergeants and Haunted Creepers, you can counter their 2-drops and their 3-drops and get on board before they can and just pull away from the game. That's why I chose to go into that deck, but he ended up taking that game too. So the third game, another one of the hardest counters I feel to that Mech Shaman deck was what is Priest, and I don't know if I played that Priest game the best that I possibly could. Like, I ended up having to rely on a top deck, but I ended up taking that game, which was looking pretty bleak at the end, but it worked out for me. So Mech Shaman is always scary, but all the decks I played, I feel like had a pretty good matchup against it, and I ended up getting the better of him the last 3 games.
All right, so let's visit your season here a little bit. I know we've brought this up a few times, but I can't get over how good of a story it is. You were the best comeback story of the entire season, plus you now have a reverse sweep. So I think it's only fitting that you actually have a reverse sweep in this season. I mean, tell me how it feels. I mean, this has got to be a good validation for yourself. You know, a lot of hard work went into this. You know, you've told us that. You know, not everyone has heard all your other interviews as well, though, but it's got to feel good to put this win on the board and feel the playoffs that close.
It definitely makes me feel a lot better. It gives me a little confidence boost going into it, and hopefully I can make the playoffs. My next opponent, I think, is Nyria, and he'll be really tough. Like, he's contesting me right now with my record, and hopefully I can get a win over him and seal in my spot.
Yeah, I was just about to touch on it. His confidence is a big one. This is your last match of the season, too. If you win this one, you actually will clinch a playoff spot. 9 wins has been clinching for all the 9-win players so far, and so you're right up there with it. But Nyria, I mean, this guy's range has not been easy to guess. We've been seeing him mix in some very aggressive decks with very late game decks, a lot of times going towards mid-range. What's your take on this match? Do you feel confident in this one? Do you feel like it's going to be a struggle? How do you think the styles match up?
Well, kind of like Nyria, my play style, I feel I can go all over the place too. That's why these past couple matches I've just been playing tons and tons of different decks, so he won't be able to put a spot on me and try to predict what I'll bring, and hopefully that surprise factor into me going into that match will kind of catch him off guard and can help me pull through with the win.
Yeah, we'll talk about surprises again. Coming back from a 2-5 record to be where you are, not a lot of people would have predicted this. Tannen, though, he was the first person I heard say it. He thought you were going to be making the playoffs, and you're looking poised for it. One more match again is going to clinch you, but even if you don't, still a chance that you make it in. And what a story again. Just congratulations on all your hard work paying off to lead to this point in the season.
Thank you.